Collins. You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your hometown news. I'm April Frelke with my co-host Joe Minnie. And Joe, we've just hot off the news press.
Yes.
Water Shooter Days.
Water Shooter Days
is on.
Yes, July 9th through the 10th. It's going to happen.
2 days. It's a little shorter.
And I'm sure New Lisbon is excited. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, it's one of those festivals that everybody looks forward to, and it marks the time, you know.
Especially, I hope the fireworks. That
should be the big draw, right?
Yeah.
So it's relatively socially distant, right?
Yes, you're outside. Well, our first guest is a local writer who's written 3 books: November Mist, a recent book, Soldier of Survival, a Billy Irish O'Callahan story, and also a book called Party in Hell. So please welcome to the program, Jaime Gollmar, also originally from New Lisbon. Jaime.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you could join us.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just get right into your writing. What inspired you to write, or your first book, or where do you want to start with writing?
So I actually started writing because I was experiencing some anxiety and some burnout while I was in the police academy. So I had used writing as an escape. It was really easy for me to just immerse myself in different worlds, and I was able to kind of escape the thoughts in my mind that were just racing, and I could just put it to paper. Sure. And as I was doing it, I was sending it to my friends and my family, and they really liked it. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna continue to do this. People are liking this, so at this point now, I still use it as an escape, but I do it more for my fans now. I like to keep my fans happy. So.
Because you started with November Mist, correct?
Correct. That was my first one. Yeah, it was just a short story that I had actually written on my phone in the parking lot while I was waiting to go into work. So, it was pretty easy to just type it on my phone real quick and call it good.
And then you just return to it every time you're in your car?
Pretty much, yeah. And then one night it was getting late, and I just kept going because I knew it was close. The next thing I know, it's 3 in the morning, and I have to get up early, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be tired tomorrow, but...
So when you're writing a book for the first time, do you start with the beginning, or do you start with the general, the plot, and then you build up the front?
So like when I don't write as a conventional writer will do. Conventional writers, they'll usually make an outline of what they want, characters, where their story wants to go. I have a general idea of what I want to do, and then I just start typing away. And as I get typing, I just let the words flow, and I just let the story flow. I'll have an idea of where I want it to go, but then it goes a completely different way.
Kind of morphs.
Yeah, that actually happened with Soldier of Survival. I had a certain way that I wanted it to go, and then I ended up switching it completely, and it turned out really well. So I've gotten a lot of good reviews on that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Soldier of Survival. You have a main character, Billy Irish O'Callahan. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Billy, I actually had, when I was thinking of Billy, I was kind of picturing him as me. Know, a lot of good writers, they take inspiration from daily lives, from different people. And so I actually used a little bit of me. Billy, if you read the story, Billy has a tremendous relationship with his mother. And I have a tremendous relationship with my mother as well. My mom has been there for everything. She is actually my writer for my books. So without my mom, it really wouldn't be possible.
Editor?
Yes. Yep. She edits it. So without her, it wouldn't be possible. But, I never served in the military either. So I kind of took stories of people that I had known, friends, family, and just kind of morphed them all into one character. So it was a kind of combination of myself, my friends, my family, and he really turned out to be a really good character and a really relatable character. When I was writing the book, I could feel myself being the main character, and when I talk with people, they feel that they were the main character as well. So that's really cool as a writer to have your fans.
So it's written in the first person where
It's not.
Oh.
It's not. But people just when they're reading it, they feel like they can.
they're that character in the story.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's a lot they can connect with that character.
Exactly.
Very relatable.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I noticed that you're building up your size of books. I mean,
Yes.
the length of them. So you're really getting into it on this book then.
Yes. Yep. So like I said, November Mist. It was a just on my phone, kind of just like a mess around one. And then a Party in Hell, my second book that I had published. I had actually been working on it for a while, but I was having trouble trying to come up with an ending for it. So I kind of rushed the ending, so that's why that one it ended up shorter. But with Soldier of Survival, I took my time, but I didn't really have to take my time because it just flowed and everything worked out perfectly. And as I was coming through my fingers and then the typing, and I sent it to my mom and I sent it to my friends, and they're like, we can't wait for this to be done. And I'm like, well, I bet it's going to be done soon. And it wasn't rushed, but it was perfect.
Yeah, it's not like you're working on any deadlines, are you?
No,
really
I
sounds-
self-publish, so I don't have any editing companies or any people that are telling me, hey, you got to get this done right now. I have my mom doing it, so
Sure, you
Yeah.
can get your own copyright and send it to a printer. It's really not that
exactly. I mean,
not that hard
yeah,
to
you
get a
just-
copyright.
Yeah, you just do it through Amazon. Basically, when you're doing a copyright, all you got to do is you just put copyright, the year, and then you put the little symbol, and it's yours. You don't have to do it through anything.
No licensing.
To the Library of
or-
Congress anymore?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, let's talk about that. Where can our viewers purchase your material? Are you going to have any book signings, or tell us a little bit about that, your
Yeah.
marketing?
So you can get all three of these titles on Amazon.com. If you just type in Jaime Gollmar into the search bar, it'll all pop up. I also have A Party in Hell and Soldier Survival on BarnesandNoble.com. Those are the only two places that you can order online. If you go to Mauston, you go to Games for Us. I have some copies for sale there as well. I'll probably stop at some other local businesses and just ask, hey, do you mind if I sell a couple books here? We can split the profits. So,
So you're working towards this being your day job?
well, it would be nice if I could get Dean Koontz money or Stephen King money,
Oh,
but
sure.
but you know that's a
It
lot of
starts. I mean, you're there. I mean,
You're writing books.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
You're making it happen,
They're not
Jamie.
little pamphlets, so.
yeah, exactly.
Do you have a favorite writer or an inspiration for
Dean Koontz.
Koontz, okay.
I actually, I like most kids when I was in school, I hated reading. But as I went to college, I had no TV. I was a poor college kid. I started to read, and Dean Koontz was one of the first readers that I actually had, or writers that I had read. And I just found him fascinating. He kind of does that supernatural thriller type stuff, and that's my sort of thing. So.
Well, Jamie, we're running out of time, so
Sure.
it was really great to have you here, so thank you for coming.
Yes.
But coming up next, Juneau County Economic Development Corporation turns 30, and the celebration is next. And catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Strike Zone and Pizzones in Toma. Great food with fun for the whole family. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Your hometown news is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
We love being active and living life to the fullest, but life can sometimes have other plans. Do you suffer from neck and lower back pain, muscle aches, and poor mobility? Trust Olson Chiropractic to find you the right treatments that fit your needs, including the benefits of an alkaline lifestyle and healthy nutrition to help guide you to a better, more active life. Call Olson Chiropractic today, trusted in Toma for over 20 years.
What's the more in the Little Cottage Home Decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Facebook and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Toma Health, our rehabilitation team specializes in physical therapy for injuries, chronic pain, post-surgery, and sports injuries.
Here at Toma Health, I provide quality care with patients by taking time to spend one-on-one.
Toma Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes and ensure a better quality of life.
Our rehab services department truly cares about treating people as a whole and getting them to be the best version of themselves.
Toma Health offers personalized rehab therapy close to home.
Relax at Marco's Italian and American Grill in Warrens, Wisconsin.
You're watching Lynxx 24.
Connecting you to the community.
Welcome back to our program. Our next guest has been on our program many times and has helped thousands of people around the world with business connections for Juneau County. So please welcome the one and only Terry Whipple. Terry, great to have you back.
It's great to be here
in person.
Okay, and we're talking 30 years celebrating, and we're going to start with the whole Inventors Entrepreneurs Club, Catch the Culture video. You guys worked with Lynxx Studio, Image Meet, Peter and Tim Mallinger.
Yes.
Because people needed you, cloned. People needed a Terry Whipple all over the place, right?
Yes, and that was a great video, and it's very helpful. Not only did that video go all over the country, but it also made it to, I think, 13 other countries.
Oh, geez.
Besides ours. The last one was Kazakhstan. The university asked for the video, and they started an Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club.
Is that where it started? Is you started with an Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club? Yeah. How did you start?
You know, I started. It was sort of an inventors. I had a lot of inventors coming to us, and after we had our first meeting, it was dull and stale, and you know, I thought we really need the business, the fun, motivated type of people. That's when it came the Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club. And that's where the rubber really hit the road. And so we had, and still to this day, last year I helped Minnesota start an Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club. So it's 17 years old now and still going. And lately, during the COVID, there was always a dream to start a national Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club. And so we had some people step up in New York, and they combined 3 clubs, and now they're doing the National Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club every month. Oh. And we had speakers like Marty Cooper, the inventor of the cell phone for Motorola.
Oh, wow.
So it's had a big impact, I have to say, more than just Juneau County, really around the world.
So getting the inventors with the entrepreneurs, that blend is what gets sparks flying?
It is. You know, when I first looked at what was out there, I noticed there was inventor groups, but again, their websites were dull and talking to the founders and stuff, they just didn't. It was when you brought investors, business type people, sales type people, inventors, and then the resources all together, things really started to happen, and we just saw so much activity, and even the university did some studies on our club. And and one of the cool things when you ask, so it's been measured, but when we had the Great Recession, coming out of that, Juneau County came out of it faster than any other county in the Seven Rivers region. We had over a 400% increase in sole proprietor limited liability corporations. And part of that is because I think we're so entrepreneurial.
So you get like basically little Shark Tanks in every town.
You do. In fact, Shark Tank, when they first started the show, they called us. And we've actually had one of our people on Shark Tank, and we've had a number of people that they've asked, but a lot of our inventors don't really want that kind of
exposure.
Beat up or anything like that.
So talk to us, Terry, a little bit about some of the major projects in the last 30. What are some of your highlights?
Well, one of the major things that we've done, we started government contracting, and that's grown into a 2-day conference, and it's called Government Opportunities Business Conference, and it's the largest in the state. So the state now has sort of adopted what we're doing at Vogt Field to bring companies together to learn how to get government contracts and also get tied in with some of the big prime contractors like Oshkosh Truck, Pierce Manufacturing, Spectrum Technologies. So that's really been helped. But April and Joe, I think sometimes it's the things that didn't work out that were so memorable. At one time, we were working on aerospace. We were working on a segmented launch vehicle to be built right in Juneau County.
Okay.
And so Juneau County has actually had the last astronaut to ever step on the moon in Juneau County.
Oh, really?
As well as the top physicists in the world for helium-3, because they were looking at harvesting helium-3 off the moon to bring back here. So sometimes it's things that didn't work out when they had budget problems and stopped appropriations. The project sort of came to a halt. But, we've had some really cool things in Juneau County.
And then expanding it out, I'm sure you've heard stories across the United States.
We have, and and closer to home, it was sort of neat because I've been asked, a number of times over the many years to speak to college students in La Crosse at UW. And so I've spoken to many of them. One day I was just walking down the street and I had somebody come running up to me. He started a business because he heard me speak on entrepreneurship. And even my daughter was having lunch with somebody at church down in Nashville, Tennessee. And she goes, how did you get into so many business? He goes, well, have you ever heard of the Inventors and Entrepreneurs Club? He goes, I went to one of those. So my own daughter down in Nashville had met somebody. So we've had an impact, who knows where.
So 17 years ago, the video comes out. Businesses are taking off. You're going to celebrate this, right? The 30-year anniversary and everything. So what's that celebration going to be all about?
Right, and Juneau County Economic Development has now been around for 30 years. I've been a part of it for 19 years now. I started in 2002. And another cool thing, we're actually having our event at the Gravity Box Microbrewery in Mauston. A brand new microbrewery. We get to, be able to help that happen. And I tell you, microbreweries are a tremendous catalyst to a downtown. And so Micah Playman, who is the founder of it, and he was determined to make sure that it was in downtown Mauston because he knew how much it would mean to Main Street Mauston. So it's going to be fun. It's members of Juneau County Economic Development. You could become a member even up to that day and join us at that celebration. We're going to look at, our whole past. It's really been sort of exciting, and Juneau County, I think, has come a long way in 30 years.
So
I remember, I remember probably one of my very first interviews was with you, Terry, and a student from the I League, Kyle, with his guitars.
Yes.
That was one of my very first Lynxx interviews. I just remember that almost like it was yesterday.
Yeah, and bringing up Kyle, he's a young man that has overcome a lot of challenges and is now down in Memphis and Nashville. I went down to see him even, and he's one of the students that came out of iLead, our Entrepreneurial Leadership Charter School, which I got a opportunity to be a co-founder of that. So I guess that's another thing that Juneau County Economic Development has been involved with.
So when is this celebration happening?
It is coming up, you'd have to, it's in May.
Okay.
You'd have to call her.
Okay, that's fine.
I've got so much on my calendar.
I'm sure it's going to be on the screen. So
yes, it will. It will. But if you want to become a member, just call our office, and Tamaya at our office will get everybody set up.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
What an accomplishment. Do you have a favorite memory, just real quick?
Oh, I got so many. You know, I always used to say, if you got an entrepreneurial community that is supported by the community, it doesn't matter if China takes all the steel, because we'll make composites. We'll make, you know, biocomposites. It doesn't matter if energy prices go high, because we'll come up with ethanol and biodiesel and methane digesters. It doesn't matter if the economy crashes, our people will find a way. And I think we're seeing that kind of resilience. And so that does make me very proud of Juneau County.
I love that quote. Our people will find a way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, congratulations. Well, Moments in History is up next. Stay tuned.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
We love being active and living life to the fullest, but life can sometimes have other plans. Do you suffer from neck and lower back pain, muscle aches, and poor mobility? Trust Olson Chiropractic to find you the right treatments that fit your needs, including the benefits of an alkaline lifestyle and healthy nutrition to help guide you to a better, more active life. Call Olson Chiropractic today, trusted in Toma for over 20 years.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Toma Health, our skilled orthopedics team specializes in adult reconstruction, sports medicine, fracture care, and hand surgery.
The collaboration between the two hospital systems has really allowed us to provide efficient, quality care in the community.
Toma Health offers the latest technology and aquatic therapy to improve patient outcomes.
The Toma Orthopedic Department works very closely with Toma Health in rehabilitating our patients. Toma Health offers expert orthopedic care close to home.
To learn more, visit tomahealth.org.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects, lots of important projects, from paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
Hi, I'm Josh Tully from The Josh Tully Show. You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
And now it's time for Nick's Moments in History.
Hi, guys. Hey, well, I have some good news and I've got some bad news. First, the bad news. Today, April 15th, is notorious for being one of the worst days in the calendar throughout history. Now, besides being tax day for Americans, which doesn't make us all that happy, most of these other things you will know a little bit about. On April 15th, Abe Lincoln was assassinated back in 1865. On April 15th, in 1912, the Titanic sank, 2 hours, okay, it took them to sink. Started on the 14th, okay, sank on the 15th, killed over 1,500 people. The captain went down with the ship, and more than a few millionaires left very rich widows. A decade later, the Great Mississippi River flood. I think I talked about this about a month ago, but it flooded after 15 inches of rain in 18 hours, affected 10 states, some at depths of over 30 feet above the land. Okay, over 27,000 square miles affected by that. It still stands as the greatest river flood in U.S. history. In this date in 1945, President Roosevelt, FDR, was buried to a great outpouring of grief. As we probably remember, he was elected 4 times, and he served about 13 years. He died several days before that, so that was on the 15th. In the 1943-44 period was the Great Chinese Famine. We can't say exactly April 15th, but it was reported, and wherein 2 to 3 million people died of starvation due to drought, locusts, war, inefficiencies. You know, many of you older viewers out there might recall your mom telling you to finish your food on your plate and remember the starving children in China. Well, this is where it came from. They actually were starving. Let's see, what else happened? A meteor blew up over Indonesia in 1988 and equaled a 5 megaton bomb. It lit the sky like the sun at the time. Probably not much of us know about that. More recently, the Boston Marathon Massacre in 2013 killed 3 and wounded 250 people on this date. And then 2 years ago, the Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire. Remember that? And destroyed the entire top of it, including the famous spire and I believe the bell tower. Okay, and that church had lasted over 800 years. Woo! Well, okay, enough of that. I think you get the point. Now, oh, by the way, Greta Garbo died in 1990 for you old film buffs. Now, for the good news. On this day in 1923, insulin became first available to the public to treat diabetes, a very big deal if you're a diabetic. A year later, Rand McNally published the first road atlas, okay? No one had road atlases before that. We had some maps. And then right after that, in the 20s, on this day in 1926, the first airmail flight from Chicago to St. Louis, Chicago to St. Louis with the airmail, and the pilot was none other than Charles Lindbergh, okay? He started off that way. Right after World War II, 46 or so, Jackie Robinson took the field for the Brooklyn Dodgers as the first African-American to play Major League Baseball. Quite a big deal at that time. There actually was an African-American 60 years before that, but he wasn't actually playing for the Major Leagues. A decade later, now, so we're into the mid-50s, Ray Kroc opened his first McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois. And that was, again, April 15th, 1955. Believe it or not, I actually frequented that very McDonald's back in the 67, 68 period when I lived in Des Plaines, Illinois. And before it became, now it's a museum attraction. Now they don't actually serve burgers there anymore. Well, there's more good stuff on the 15th, but it's not quite as exciting and noteworthy as the bad stuff. The best news, is for the viewers, after tonight's news, the ones watching the news here the next several days, is that for you, the 15th will be over.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So what do you think, guys? Was that a good wrap up?
That's great. And my cousin Allison is a huge Titanic fan, so I actually sent her a message, Happy Titanic Day to her. She loves it. She was huge.
Yeah, happy Titanic Day. Yeah.
May they rest in peace, she said back. Yeah. May they rest in peace. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching your hometown news, where we're connecting you to the community. This